Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
Now, let me ask you, and thank you, Representative Jackson from Georgia. Jim Clyburn, and I haven't talked about it because I don't want to talk bad about my elders, and some others have been suggesting that Biden pardon Trump. What?
No.
What are your thoughts?
No. See, that's the reason why we're in this problem now. Because if Richard Nixon did not get their pardon from Ford, we would not have this problem now.
Correct.
And so if we are going to be Democrats and we're going to say, well, the hell with Republicans, if they're not going to stand for the rule of law, let us. But I agree with you. We have to be honest with ourselves. If any of my 7 children, which some of them get speeding tickets, and I make phone calls because that's my child, right? But I would do the same thing, Karen, if you call me.
You should probably pay the speeding ticket, though.
Yeah, man, I think you could pay the speeding ticket.
Yeah, that speeding ticket should be paid. Like, come on now. I was like, see, what are your thoughts on the pardon crowd?
Pardoning Trump?
Yes.
I think it's absurd. This is the fundamental problem we're talking about here. We need to stand and say things with our full chest. I think one of the things that it was a big misstep for Vice President Harris was that she was, and this is a strength of hers, is that she's so well prepared. Her staff has commented on this before. When they give her a deck that comes back with tons of notes all over it, it takes them so long to go through it because she's so prepared. All of her talking points are prepared. This is a strength. But you know what? In an election, that's a weakness because it makes you not look human. You need to go on Joe Rogan. You need to go do these things where it's an absurdly long, weird conversation to have with people because all the electorate wants to do is connect with you on a human level. If people knew what Donald Trump really was like, that he tripled the size of his real estate holdings in Trump triplets and was a complete fraud, they don't care. They just know that he talks to them like they want to be spoken to. And that's the thing that Democrats are missing. That's what we're upset about.
Well, I'm not upset about it, but I do agree. I do agree with you on that. Let's go to Florida and welcome in Cynthia. What's up?
Did he leave?
Before we go to
he left?
Go ahead, Cena.
Oh, thank you, Representative Jackson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. I didn't thank
Hello.
you. All right, I'm sorry.
You did. I did not.
I'm sorry. Okay, Cena running the show. You know I'm off today. Not really here. I'm not really here. Thank you, Thank you, Representative Jackson. I apologize for not properly escorting you out. Okay. Cynthia, sorry. Hi, Florida.
Hi. Listen, I'm glad to be on this call. My question was, what are the plans to secure victory in 2026 election? I think as Democrats, we've cast our net so wide that sometimes we lose some of our people. And I know everyone says, oh, some of them sat home and this is what they get. But the truth is, not everyone is very well versed on our politics in the U.S. I spoke to a lot of foreigners who did not feel comfortable with Trump, but they didn't vote for Kamala because the messaging was not clear to them. So since they were unsure and they were spiritual or whatever, they didn't vote. And about 4 million Democrats sat out. I'm not talking about people who were going to vote for Trump. I'm talking about people who were going to vote, who voted for Biden but didn't vote this time. What are we going to do in 2026? Because their goal, they know Democrats do not usually vote in the midterms. And I think that's going to be our last chance before things go really crazy. So what is the plan for Democrats to secure a victory? There's going to be 23 Senate seats up for re-election. If they get a 60 majority, they won't ever need our help at all in anything in the Senate. So I think that's the conversation people need to have now is how do we mobilize the people who are not motivated? Whatever our judgment is, how do we mobilize them? Because we need their votes.
I think we don't talk about Democrats. I think we talk about the people that are going to be running. And I think 26 seats, we should primary every single Republican. Every single Republican who was running for re-election should be primaried. Nobody should run unopposed in their primary, which gives us 2 bites of the apple, meaning we're going to run somebody who has the same ideology that you and I have in terms of people eating and having a home and all the things. We're going to run them as Republicans in these gerrymandered states. And then we're going to run a candidate if our candidate doesn't get through the Republican primary. We're going to run somebody because people don't show up for the primaries in a midterm. We could actually do a Party Lincoln thing. I have a lot of thoughts, Cena, on how that, and I am completely focused on 2026 for sure. Your thoughts? She's raised a good question.
I hope that, well, first, every midterm election is a referendum on the first 2 years of the incoming administration. So if the cost of eggs and milk doesn't go down, then that's going to be a headwind for the Republicans. But the Democrats need to start speaking with their full chest and being passionate about what's happening and not just the other side. I think the problem is that there's the Democratic Party was walking in lockstep, but failed to have that message that they were walking in lockstep to be one that resonated with America. Like it seemed like the corporate, the upper echelons of the party, the people that were representing us were in unison, but they didn't bring the rest of the country along with the messaging, and that's the problem.
Spot on. 866-801-TALK is the number.